ourselves in a minute. Just, I'm a bit nervous, sorry. So yeah, we're doing a presentation on basically reimagining cyber risk. So how we sat our degree at Warwick with Raj, and then how we went on to like build the module, deliver the module and things like that. So I put an animation in which I really wish I didn't do now. So, is this still on? Yeah, so what if the people best placed to teach a subject were the ones who just learned it? So not 5 years later, not after a PhD, but straight after they lived it. So every deadline, every group project, every late night study session. And then a few years ago, we were sitting exactly where our students sit now. So when we deliver the module, where our students sit. We were learning the content, we were facing the same challenges, and we were trying to figure out how it all connected to the real world. Like literally sitting there thinking, how is this going to get me a job? But yeah, then there came a question from Raj, and he basically said, would you be up for teaching the module? So this presentation is basically just a little bit of a story about how we went from students to educators. And that's something we're still doing now. So we all do it part-time on top of our full-time roles. So that's I don't look like that. That's really actually nice, but yeah. ChatGPT was really nice to me. So I'm Emma. I have an undergrad in English Language and Literature. And after uni, I worked at State Bank of India in Leicester. And my Punjabi got really good there. And I also picked up a little bit of Gujarati, so I used to like show that off. I knew like 3 words basically, so I used to say them 3 words over and over again. Then I realised that my life wasn't really going anywhere. I didn't really want to be a personal banker for the rest of my life, like sending money to India for people. Like I didn't really want to do that. Plus my dad was like, can you get a proper job? Okay. So then I looked into like what kind of things I could do. This is my brother Rajan, and he had just done CSM at Warwick, which is Cybersecurity Management, the Masters. And I was like, oh, maybe I'll do that too. So then I applied and I got in, and I sat the degree with Pardeep, so I met him on like the same cohort. That's how us 3 know each other. So don't have a choice, have a choice. And yeah, so now so while I was doing my dissertation, I secured a job with my current employer, and I've been with them ever since. I can't really say who I work for, I can't really say what I do, so sorry about that. But I am a senior cybersecurity consultant now, and I work for like a really, really big organisation, so it's really, really cool. I'll let Pardeep here.
Hello, so my name is Pardeep Sandhu. So like Emma said, don't need to go, I'll take the mic. Okay, so I did the course back in 2018. I was recruited for a consulting company called Accenture. I don't know if you know them. I specialise in cyber security within the telecom space. So I deliver services with regards to telephony, media, all that kind of stuff. So I was headhunted for another company from actually an alumni from Warwick University. Do talk for a living, and all we do is look at the delivering services for a company called now Infosys. So yeah, Emma, Rajan and I have been delivering the cyber risk module for the last, I think, 3 or 4 years. It's been going great.
Yeah, so my name is Rajan, nice to meet everyone. First of all, Vajika Khalsa, Vajika Cookie everyone. So I am Emma's brother, as everyone knows now. I started my career in the cliche, I'm brown skin, so I'm going to do computer stuff. Did software developing for a while, then I moved into Raj's module, Raj's degree basically, to be a master's, and then everything flowed from there. I currently work at Sainsbury's, and I basically do, so if everyone knows about the M&S attack that went on recently, we were basically just blue teams type stuff. We do defence for Sainsbury's in talks with M&S and Co-op and everyone else that is getting attacked recently. So yeah, it's a little bit about myself.
This is Raj.
before we obviously carry on, we're going to talk about the journey and obviously how we got here. So it was just the height of the pandemic. Everyone knows everything was abruptly, everything came to a halt. Everyone online, everything was online. If you're a student, online was your place from now on. And we were handed a very unexpected opportunity to basically teach a module. Harsh came to us one day, and off the back of that request, we basically built and evolved something which was quite meaningful, not just as lecturers who were invited back as a one-off, but to actually build a module and teach the same people who obviously the seats that we occupied at the time. So from there we got to work. We didn't aim just to change the module for the sake of it, but we aimed to basically reimagine the module, taking everything that we've learned, being Sikhs ourselves, knowing that we're here to teach everyone on the same level. We're not here to say that we're above you. We're all equal in the world. And obviously taking everything that we've understood from the real world industry that we are working in and how we're seeing the cyber risk evolve over time. So it's a great learning experience, and the beauty of it, it's not just full circle, how we were sitting, where the students were, now we're teaching. It is that whole concept of we can bring industry into the university and teach fellow students who were like ourselves how the industry is evolving, how we're going to keep going with everything else.
Okay, so there is value add in having professionals come back and lecture to students. So what we do is obviously we have the academic rigor through our learnings from certifications within the actual field itself, but also we've designed the course in a way that allows us to bring our practical expertise into the module. So what do I mean by that? So we've applied gamification principles as well as our own experiences within industry to center the module around things like case studies. I'll give you a good example. So in the first year, we were all hearing about SpaceX, space agencies, so we created one. So we got the students to live and breathe as a space organization, and we threw them risk, audit, compliance-based questions. Now, we all, no matter which field you work in, risk, audit, compliance, very boring subject, very heavy on theory, very low on life. So what we wanted to do is make the content realistic, fun, and engaging. So I think this is what we're trying to do with the module. The feedback has been fantastic, and our involvement with the module has been great year on year. We're learning a lot from the students. The students are teaching us a lot. One of the core things that the reason why we like to come back to Warwick University is that it allows us to get back into academia, give back, build networks, be able to support the next generation. So when it comes to things like supporting them with their applications and building those relationships, we're there to talk to them about that kind of stuff and also teach them at the same time. So that's really where the value add is. Just coming to the reflections of our involvement. Now, reflecting our teaching, I would definitely say as a first time kind of academic, bring water when you speak. 2 days into lecturing, I lost my voice. It wasn't great, but in all seriousness, it's incredibly rewarding. It's a circle of life where we're developing as professionals, being able to hone our communication, delivery of content in a way that's easy to digest, but also allows students to engage in the right way. What we want to do with this module is continue to promote that. In terms of the actual the module itself, we wanted to say a massive thank you to Harsh. Like Dr. Gurdam Singh said earlier, when there's an opportunity, we should take it, and we took the opportunity during the COVID pandemic, and thankfully year on year it's been fantastic. So what we want to do is continue to actually improve and deliver more and do more for the community. So that's it for me. No, sorry.
There's one more slide. So I'm going to quickly go through a Sakhi that we found about Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So basically Guru Nanak Dev Ji entered a village where there was a renowned scholar. The scholar obviously sat higher than everyone else because he thought he was, and people would sit at his feet and listen to things he'd say. And this guy would talk complex languages with words that people haven't heard before that he's found in the scripture. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji arrived one day and he sat with the villagers, and obviously the scholar noticed the unfamiliar figure and said, "You sit here with a bit of arrogance. Do you have something to teach you? And what is your knowledge of, what is your process of knowledge?" And so Guru Nanak Dev Ji obviously smiled and replied, "Knowledge without love is basically a lamp that's hidden underneath a bowl, and it has no significance to the people it's showing, but also the person who is offering the knowledge itself." And of course the scholar didn't like that, so he challenged back, and he basically just said, "Tell us something that these villagers haven't heard before, and I'm giving you a challenge here." And then Guru Nanak Dev Ji picked up the first letter of Gurumukhi script, which is Ura, and he said, "This one letter holds the entire universe." And it's obviously that he's basically saying, if you truly reflect on that one letter, it's the beginning of everything. It holds everything. Don't just memorize it, don't just learn it, but teach other people with the light and the kindness. And so obviously the beauty of this is Guru Nanak Dev Ji is always teaching us things, and he's teaching us that wisdom true wisdom is about being humble and loving. It's not just saying that, I'm building my ego up for no reason. I'm saying we're all level. I'm not teaching to impress. I'm teaching to uplift everyone. And finally, it's the first letter. So without that first anything, nothing comes after. So if you don't take the first step in something, the second step never comes. The first letter never came. The second step never comes. The second letter never comes, and so on. So yeah.
Cool. That's our presentation. Sorry we had to breeze through that. We don't really have much time. We have some really funny and cool stories, but we're limited on time today. Before we leave, we have got a quick game. It should only take a minute. We just kind of wanted you to experience what the students experience. So we've got. Oh no.
This is gamification kind of in that
Yeah. So why don't you do that?
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, so obviously the sound is just coming out of here.
So it's the SikhsInAcademia edition. I don't know how to do it.
Okay, so what we'll do is everyone plays along with us, and what we're going to say is, if you think it's A, raise your hands. If you think it's B, raise your hands, and so on. There is no lives, of course. This is just for a bit of fun.
No, you get kicked out, actually.
Normally we have risk-based questions, but today's obviously all related to Sikhs.
And it actually gets really competitive when we do it with the students, because we begged Warwick to give us a prize. So they give us Amazon vouchers. Not a lot, but it's still something. And so the students get really into it. They actually start saying "Oh, you're cheating, you're taking too long," and it's "Oh, calm down, everybody. It's just a game." But yeah. So nothing.
Okay, so this is the first question. We're going to start off nice and simple, just to warm everyone up. How many gurus are there in Sikhi? So if there are no lines of it. You can phone hard if you want. So if you think it's A13, raise your hands. If you think it's B10, raise your hands. If you think it's C11, raise your hands. And then finally, if you think it's 12D, raise your hands.
I'm disappointed.
It's actually one.
Yeah.
One.
Yeah.
That's actually true. We didn't put that in there.
Started a philosophical debate.
2.11 just goes to clean.
It's 12.
Das Guru Granth Sahib Shah Guru Khalsa Panth Guru.
We'll just stop the game there. No, that's right, yeah. Okay.
Guru Granth Guru Panth.
Yeah.
That's right. All right, cheers for that. Thank you. So there's actually 12, so nobody gets that right.
What about Wahiguru?
Yeah. Do you know? Yeah. I thought this was going to be
Very
a bit
philosophical. Yeah, exactly what I said.
Okay.
We should have won with the risk question.
So the next question is, in what century was Sikhi founded? 14th century A. Anyone want to raise their hands?
just trying to do maths.
15th century, 17th century B. No one. 16th century C. Got a few hands raised. And then finally 15th century D.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, good job. It's 15th, yeah. Well, that's what Google said.
Everyone stand at the front.
And this is the last one, so we're not playing for millions.
God. So of course, going back to the Saki, what did Guru Nanak Dev Ji, upon picking the first letter of Gurumukhi, say? A. This one letter holds the entire universe. B. This one letter is the first letter in any alphabet. C. This is one letter holds the key for immortality. And then D. This one letter holds whatever you want it to be. So if you think it's A, raise your hands. Okay, got A's. Anyone think it's a B? You got B. Anyone think C? And then finally, anyone think D? No.
So you were listening. All right, nice one. Thank you for playing,
Thank you.
everybody. Really nice to meet you.